So in this dream, I've gotten so many downloads, and I'm about to go into it. I just got out the dream. I just got out of prayer. I got to tell y'all what I seen in this dream. So in the dream, people were trying to get on a cruise ship. I don't know if you've been on a cruise ship, but there's always like a wait time, and there's a certain time a group of people can get on the ship. But this time, a lot of people didn't want to get on this ship, so they were just letting everybody on quickly. Mind you, my mom got me a ticket to go on this ship, but I had threw my receipt away. So I didn't remember which room number we were in, and she hurried up ahead of me before I could even get on before I could even figure out where she was at. She was kind of like rushing, and I was kind of like just walking normal pace. So it seemed like she was trying to disappear from me on purpose. Okay? So we get on the ship, then all of a sudden, something tragic happens. There's like a surge of demons that spill out to bite people so they could become a demon. I don't know if you've seen this in a movie. I can't think of the movie name, but if you know the movie name, drop it down below. So it was a surge of demons, and they just started biting people to get people to become a part of their demonic spiritual realm. They were going to be humans, but they weren't going to be working for God anymore. It was definitely like a spiritual attack. I interpret that as a spiritual attack. And it didn't matter the race. It didn't matter who you were, man, woman, young or old. It was just coming. So after I was able to see all these demonic forces coming, and I was able to hide behind some of the spirits that were some of the people who were like attacked, but they were dead. Some people were attacked by the devil and they died, but some of them were bitten. They were able to act in the kingdom of the darkness. So I was able to hide behind the dead bodies of the ones they attacked. It was like spirits, so they were like burnt to crisp. So I hid behind them. And once all those demons, all that surge left, somebody came back up and he said, everybody who didn't get attacked by the surge, by the demons, come out now. So like me and like 12 other people, it wasn't a lot, a handful. And it was so many people that were dead or that got attacked and ran so they could get on their mission. So it was like out of 1,000 people, I want to say it was about 12 of us that walked away, and we had all black on. We didn't have white. We had all black on. And they took us to this area and they told us this area here, no demon can come across. Like this is the area where demons are not allowed here. They can't come here. And it was basically our territory. It wasn't that big, but it was just basically our territory where we could charge. And they had this place where we could hang, we could rest, and we could put our wings, we could rest, connect our wings to this place and rest. So the 12 of us got there, and we noticed that, hey, we made it, y'all. It's sad that would happen to everybody else, but put it this way, if this is a cruise ship, it was like the city part. Like if the cruise ship was a city, or if the cruise ship was a world, we were at the part where we went away from the city area to like a cut. So anyway, we were going to be on an assignment. Since we were survived, we wanted to warn the other people about the attack because everybody don't know what happened. If it just happened in one city area, a lot of people don't know what happened. So when we went back to try to tell people like, hey, beware, there's a surge, demons are trying to attack people. We went back, and when we went back, there was already like a order, like a world order. It was like they already knew. There was already people, like the authorities, like the law was looking for anybody who was attacked. Like they were going from town to town looking for anybody that had been attacked. So we wanted to make sure like we identified ourselves so they wouldn't take us, because they were taking any person that got bit by that demon. They were taking them. So it's funny because I want to pause my dream and I want to say this. I got a revelation about ISIS. It's so crazy. I got a revelation about ISIS behind this. So it reminded me of ISIS, and it reminded me of how ISIS are going around there looking for undocumented people. And recently I seen them, they took a black man recently, an African. So it's no shade to just Latinos. They're taking anybody who they know is not documented. All right. And I want to tell you guys this now. I understand why now that they're trying to take everybody that's not documented. This is all has to do with money and even spirit. It could be spiritual too, because money is an energy, right? So you know that every person that's in the U.S., we're our own stock. Our social security number gives us a stock or whatever. So if you're coming over here undocumented, you don't have all your papers, and they can't properly add you as a stock. So, and that's probably an attack on our economy. Our economy is probably really messed up because there's a lot of undocumented people working. There's a lot of money that's getting allocated where the government is not getting their share or their stock or whatever. However they do it. I don't know the numbers. Y'all have to give me the nitty gritty down on that. I just telling you what I see in the dream and what I'm feeling in my spirit, what spirit's telling me. So y'all can give me the technicalities below, because I'm sure there's a method to all what I'm saying. So every person that's not documented, they can't get paid from. So that's why Trump coming. Trump is all about business. So he definitely, it's like no shade to nobody. If you're not documented, if you're not in the country properly, we can't run the country properly. You're going to put the country in a deficit if we continue to let undocumented people work and earn money, and it messes up everything that they got going on. So that's why they're taking people out of here, because they need these people on paper. They need them to come back on paper the right way. So that's what I was interpreting about the whole not being documented thing with ISIS, because that's what I saw in the dream. They was literally like, but in a sense, it was deeper than that. It was spiritual, but I still took that little part. Oh, and I want to share this with you too. There, recently, I've been in court. Y'all know I'm a paralegal, so I'll be doing a lot of court stuff. I was in court, and this time I seen there was a tremendous amount of people changing their names. I mean, I was like, what the hell is up with all these name changes? And I think that's people trying to avoid ICE. They up there changing their names. They got clever ways on how they're trying to stay under the radar. That could be significant. You may know somebody that's doing that. I don't know if that's a new thing, though. They down there changing their names. And even so much as I had to amend a birth certificate, and even to get the birth certificate amended, it's taken about like 6 months. They're backed up. Put in a request in, it's taken half a year to get this damn request. And Vital Records is no longer in California. There's only one unit that's now handling the name changes or amended birth records. And I don't recall it being like that. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I just want to throw that part out there just for anybody who listening. So let me get back on topic. So I was making a video and I'm doing a series on false prophets. And I might have to edit my damn video after this dream because so in the dream, we're going around, we're seeing people getting snatched up, and basically the government thinks that they're getting rid of all the evil spirits, all the people who've been possessed by that surge. And that's another thing too. We could it could be deeper than the documents and stuff because people, we don't know what really is going on in a sense with other countries and energy. We only look at it as what we know, but in the spiritual aspect, having all those undocumented people could also be like another spiritual attack, maybe, when it's like, we're a document, you need to be too. Maybe, and don't our documents and stuff saying God we trust? So isn't there like an oath like that we take, or we don't know if it's on the birth certificates or what, but it's also like maybe also some sort of spiritual protection with the in the United States with those documents. Y'all listen, this is something that I'm just throwing out there. It does not have to be true, but if you think that what I'm saying is true, make sure y'all comment below. So maybe in a sense too, it's a protection for any unwarranted energy that's not supposed to be in this country. Okay, so because either this could be it could be energy from energy through the U.S. energy versus Mexico energy versus England and Europe energy. Or UK energy, United Kingdom versus Africa energy. Like it could be energy versus energy, really, when you really think about it. It could have a lot to do with that too. In order to strengthen the country, it could be an energetic shift. All right. So anyway, with all that being said, there's demons. People were being attacked. Oh, I got to tell y'all this part. Let me tell you something. The people that are getting bit by these demons, this is bigger than just wicked pastors, okay? Because there's people that are getting possessed, that are getting taken out by the demons, and there's people that are being possessed that are still standing, that the law cannot arrest, even though the law was going to go look for these people that were bitten. There were certain people that were bitten that they never even got. They couldn't even get to them, and they were like, still trying to attack people, okay? And even the authorities couldn't get to them. So that could be significant. There's could be people around you. It's like, this is a spiritual warfare. I'm looking, the dream was all about what we don't see is what I'm saying. It wasn't physically like, oh, we're going to see this demon do this. I think this was a spiritual. So this thing could be anybody, like anybody could be attacked by this spirit. It's important to identify people and groups and things, because if you're mingling with people who are attacked by that spirit, you're going to be attacked by that spirit. You're not even going to know it. So it had no identity. It didn't come from a different, it's like you couldn't tell who was possessed because they were a certain race or a certain gender. You really had to be able to discern and be on guard and look for the spirit. You had to look for the evil spirit, okay? So that is very important. So anyway, I ended up, we was an assignment. We went around to try to tell everybody about, if they're attacking people, but the law was already on it. So that wasn't our assignment. So we huddled back over there to the area where we're specifically made for the people who went through the whole surge and it didn't get touched. And a group of us went one way. I was supposed to go with this group, but I was like, I seen Faison Love and he was going to go sing somewhere. And I was like, I was like, oh, I'm finna go over there with Big Worm. Like, I looked at him like my big cousin or something. And then he was like, so I didn't, I didn't go on assignment where I was supposed to be. I went with Faith on Love, and we got in a cab to go to his show. His show was out from the city. So when we went out from the city, we weren't in where all those demons attacked. So we were so far out, and even on our way there, I felt safe because I knew that, okay, we weren't in the bigger city. So we're on the outskirts. So, we're safe here. They're not, they're not on high alert like that big city is. And remind you, I said we're on a cruise ship, but okay, I'm in a dream state, so we switched, y'all. I'm in a cab, and we're going, and me and Faith on Love, we get to this destination, and when we get there, Brandy greets us, and Brandy was one of my favorite singers growing up. And they didn't know what was going on. They didn't know there was a surge and there was demons attacking people there. Or maybe they did know and they just was so far out so they couldn't be attacked. So I see Brandy and Faison, and then Brandy's about to perform. So and Faison is about to perform. And they were good. They were good. They were in the cut. They weren't getting attacked by no demons. And so I ended up leaving there, and I ended up going back to the ship to look for my mom. I went to go look for her, and I couldn't find her. I couldn't find my mom, and I was too afraid to ask someone about my room number because they would have to scan my badge, and I didn't want my badge to get scanned because I didn't know if I would be getting it scanned by a demon, and I didn't want that demon to attack me because they was on my ass. They were like, I guess they get twice the fun to get, because they could tell that I was one of the chosen ones. So they was like, shit, if we want to attack somebody who think that they are untouchable, basically. So then I was too afraid to try to find my mom, but I wanted to find her. I wanted to know if she was attacked, or I wanted to know how she was doing, but I couldn't find her. And then after that, I was still chaos going on. There was still demons mixed inside with regular people. People were trying to have fun, but there was just so many demons around. And it's just spiritual speaking. I think that the people were having fun because they didn't realize that the demons that they were around. So I think that is just a call to really just pay attention to people's spirits, because you can get contaminated by people's energy. So make sure that you are paying attention to people's spirits, because they could come and infiltrate. They could come and put ideas. They could come and do different things. This is how I'm interpreting it. They can come and stir your mind up. These people could come in, and with their energy, they're attaching their energetic cords, which are demonic to you, just by conversation, just by association, just by environment. So it is so important to be on guard when we're dealing with, and this goes to a lot of people who are in bigger cities. If you're in LA, even in the AV is a little LA now. If you in New York, if you in New York City, if you in Atlanta, if you in them big cities, it is some spiritual warfare going on. You need to be on guard. You need to be on guard that you don't get attacked. Because you won't be able to tell who these demons are. Some of them are already bitten. Some of them are already demonic, and you can't even determine that these people are demonic unless you're looking for it. You got to be able to discern. Wait a minute, is this person? Am I feeling drained? Is this person putting negative ideas in my head? Because it might not even sound negative. It could be just a suggestion. But if they're suggesting you anything different from God's will, it's a problem, because it's going to lead to you not following God's instruction. And I was led to this scripture that I read too. Let me give you the scripture that I read today. It's Proverbs, and it basically said, I'm going to put it up on the screen. Oh, okay, so let me look. Okay, the scripture was Whoever gives heed to instruction prospers, and blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord. Proverbs 16:20. Make sure that you are taking heed of what God's instructions are. That's how you are blessed. A lot of people miss out on their blessing is because they have God's instruction and they start talking to other people, and then other people's suggestions override what God told them, and that's, you know what I'm saying? So basically, these spirits was definitely taking people off the blessings, to say the least. But it was doing far worse than that. But I'm just using it as an example. So anyway, I'm about to end this. How the dream ended was, I was so exhausted. I was already exhausted from the first battle, but I went on with Faison and Brandy and them, and I just, I should have stayed there and charged up. So when I went back, I had to go back, y'all. I had to go back to the area and recharge, because I was so exhausted from looking at my mom, and then like just being in the area and almost getting attacked by so many different demons, and they all came differently. Like these demons, some of them were visible, some of them weren't, some of them were slick, some of them were like flying, and I had the ability to fly, so I flew. And I went over back to where I'm supposed to be at, in the area where they said it's safe for people like me to be there. And there wasn't a lot of people left. It was like maybe 4 of us there. I don't know where the other ones were still on that mission. The first mission I should have been on. And then the guy, this time though, when I got there, they weren't just because we had our black suit on, they weren't just going to let me on. They had to make sure that I was still good. So they threw an incense at me, and I guess though that was their new tactic. They got to throw this over up next to you, and if this something happens, they could tell, okay, you're still good. So they threw this thing at me, and they could tell, okay, I'm still good. So as soon as I got back, he said, listen, listen, we're running out of time, and he said, meditate and get instructions from the Lord. That's what he told me. He said, and he showed me how I was running out of time. It was like a stick, and I wasn't at 100%. I ain't gonna tell y'all the percent I was at. I'm gonna keep that part to myself. But it wasn't at 100. I wasn't down to 50 either. But he was like, "You're running out of time." And I woke up right after that, spooked as hell. Had to turn on the light and pray. I don't know the next dream I'm going to have, but if y'all got something from it, let me know. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Peace, love, and light.